Assalamu alaikum. My name is Roshan Mohammed from Roshan's Delights for Ramadan. We are with Nadir again, and he's been giving us some exceptional recipes, and we're going to take full advantage of it. So, Nadir, Allah.
Assalamu alaikum, Jazakallah Auntie Roshan. So today we're making something a bit different. We're making an Iranian jewel rice. Can be used as a starter, can be used as a side, or just eaten alone. Packed with flavor, packed with color. So looking forward to showing you guys this recipe. My favorite is of course having this with a good chicken dish. Can be a roasted chicken, boiled chicken, or they have it grilled on an open fire in Iran. Lots of fresh, fragrant ingredients, and let me run you through the ingredients list over here. So obviously we've got butter, lots of fat. If you're on a diet, this is not a dish for you. We've got our raisin, pistachios, we've got crushed almonds, a bit of chicken spice or chicken stock. That's my own little iteration of this. Then we've got some cinnamon, a cinnamon powder. We've got some khajur or dates, pomegranate seeds, some parsley. We're going to be using some orange zest and the orange juice itself, some grated carrots, basmati rice which has been pre-cooked. We're going to go half and half, and of course the main flavor ingredient, we've got some saffron water. This is a lot of saffron water. We're not going to be using all of it. So let's begin. The first thing we're going to start with is putting our pan on a medium heat. I've got a non-stick pan there. While that's getting up to heat, I've got an orange. We're just going to take some of that zest. You want some of the white part of the zest itself. Got about 3 leaves there. And then what I'm going to do is simply slice it or fine julienne, and that is just more for some color and gives just a little added flavor inside our dish. So I don't actually need all 3, to be completely honest, because we're making a single serving. Obviously whatever ingredients I show you, you're just going to times it by as many guests as you have or as many as you want. So it's in terms of as many dishes or guests that you are catering for. While that's going on, I'm going to slice this orange. We're going to use the orange juice later. Let's get that aside. So my pan is up to heat. I've got about 5 tablespoons of butter. I'm not using all of it. It's quite soft already. That goes inside. I'm going to add my carrots. So I've got about 4 carrots here. I'm only going to use 2. I'm going to start cooking that down. After we cook this down, then we're going to start gathering all our other garnishes and nuts. We don't want a raw carrot flavor with this. We're going to let that go on simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes, but we're not going to waste too much time. We're stepping off screen and we're just putting another stove on heat, and onto that yet more butter. That's going to go inside, and I'm going to be placing my nuts, my raisins with the stalks on. It gives you a little bit more texture, plus minus a handful. My pistachio nuts, these have just been shelled, unsalted. We're keeping them whole. It gives a nice crunchiness to the dish itself. Once again, a handful is going to go inside, or just a little bit more, being a little bit naughty. We've got some crushed almonds. That's going to get coated in the butter. We're going to add a little bit of our chicken stock or chicken spice inside. And that's going to give it that nice sweet and savory mix. We're leaving our pomegranate seeds for a little bit later. While that's happening, I've got my khajur here. I'm just going to put them in the meantime. My carrots are still on the go. My khajur is slightly hard today, but softer the better. Nice chunky slices. We don't want that to disappear within the rice itself. Remember, you got a lot of sweetness in this dish as well. We're just taking that out. Okay, so once that's done, we're just going to add these few khajur pieces into our butter mixture and make sure everything is nicely coated in the butter. My carrots, we're going to give that a slight stir. It's almost done. Okay, so 1 to 2 minutes, everything just been coated nicely with the butter. You don't want to overcook this. You still want the crunchiness from the nuts itself. We can take that off heat, and then now we're going to chuck all of that yummy goodness into our carrots. I'm going to stir that up. It's off heat at the moment. We're just mixing this all together. Now we're going to put it back onto heat. And then with that, we take in half of our rice, not all of it. and we're mixing that into our carrot and nut mixture. So this dish is always all about the texture, flavors, and more importantly, the color. So that color is really going to pop. You got the carrots inside. If you've done Indian cooking, it's a little bit like jardo, but not really, not as sweet. Then I'm going to add some of my spices. I've got some cinnamon spice that's going to go inside. This is discretional, depends how savory or sweet you want the dish. Going to mix it up. And then, of course, the key ingredient, and this just shouts Iran, our saffron water. So this is saffron that has been put in boiling water and left to cool. So we got this nice, rich mixture. I'm not going to use all of this because this is way too much. And now, oh, if only you could smell this, absolutely amazing. So the sweetness now, all with the water hitting the pan, all those aromatics are starting to come out. And we're going to just let that steep for a little bit. I'm going to switch the heat to low. Perfect. While that's happening in the background, before I add this, we're going to add some of that zest. Stir that in. And then in the background, I've got my parsley with the stalks, because a lot of flavor is in the stalk itself. I'm just going to chop this up. And that's your garnish, going to add a pop of color with a bit of green inside. We're just going to chop that down. Okay, that goes inside our rice. Again, and then we're almost ready to serve. Doesn't take a very long time, provided your rice is made ahead of time. Shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. I would like to give this a taste test, but unfortunately we can't do that in Ramadan. We're gonna hope that our salt levels were perfect. This is where a bit of freshness comes in. Squeeze of orange juice inside. Just picks up the dish completely. Pomegranate seeds. And now it actually looks like a jewel. And that's where the name comes from. So obviously in Iran, this is a staple in most homes. This is our fusion version of it. And now we're ready to plate. So the beauty of this dish, obviously, is the different complexions and layers of color. We're going to take the plain white rice, which is already warm. Going to put that as our base. Obviously, I'm plating this individually. If you are cooking for a family, you can do this in a platter. And the beauty is the rice that just sits on top of it with all those beautiful colors and packed with flavor, fragrance more than anything else. Can be used as a main or a side. And we're just going to take a little bit more of that parsley. I'm going to take a few more pistachio nuts, drizzle it on top, and then once again, our pomegranate seeds. And there you have it, our Iranian jewel rice. So Auntie Roshan, there we have our Iranian jewel rice or saffron rice, because there's so much saffron inside. I know it's not fair because we're fasting, but give me your thoughts.
It looks amazing, and with all the lovely ingredients you've got in there,
Yeah.
it looks yummy and it smells yummy.
It's almost a cheat code, right? With pistachio, with saffron, with almonds, it can't not taste good. And I think this really speaks to who we are in terms of fusion. You know, we're using basmati, which is something that's authentically Indian.
Yeah.
We're using certain ingredients that are maybe not native to South Africa, but native to our cuisine,
Yeah.
Indian cuisine. And we've taken our inspiration from an Iranian dish. And I think at the Jasmine Culinary School, you know, we teach the Parisian cuisine, but we try to promote fusion cuisine as well, because taste and cuisine as a whole is now global. It's completely
Yes,
global.
absolutely.
So, you know, we've got this massive pop culture of Japanese and Korean and Thai cuisine, over and above everything that I think by default as Muslims, we've got an affinity to the Middle East and Muslim countries. So where we can draw that inspiration, it sort of feels like home. Even though we come from an Indian background, I think Arab food sort of feels at home. We always put our little kick with our masala because that's who we are. But I think that's what we do here at Jasmine. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope the viewers try some of these recipes at home.
And I believe we do some Korean food too.
So we do a lot of Korean food. Last year we've done a culinary tour to South Korea, and we picked up a lot of dishes there, authentic halal Korean food, and we're looking forward to share some of those dishes with you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. That'll be great.
Jazakallah so much for having us.
Thank you for your time.
Ameen.